I've been walking for about 10 or 11 miles now. Started at Beech Gap West Trail. I'll end at the Beech Gap East Trail tomorrow. Went from there up to the Hughes Ridge Trail, then the Enloe Creek Trail, and now I am on the Hughes Ridge Trail, which will take us all the way up to the Appalachian Trail and Peck's Corner, where I will be staying tonight. Actually making pretty good time. It's only a little afternoon right now, so I only got about 2.5 miles left. So get to do a little exploring around once we get up there to Peck's Corner and the Appalachian Trail, and that'll be nice. And tomorrow I have about a 16-mile jaunt out, go along the Appalachian Trail for about 5 miles, and then turn back down Balsam Mountain Trail. Take that almost all the way back to the car. And the last 2 miles, I think, is the Beech Gap East Trail. By the way, the Beech Gap and Enloe Creek and Hughes Ridge are part of the Benton McKay Trail as well. So it's a nice loop you get to do, part of the Benton McKay and part of the Appalachian Trail. So I'm just going to give you another view of what the trails look like up here on these ridges. Although there's a lot of up and down. There's also a lot of flat spots like this, where you're just on a ridge. So if you wanted to do more of a run through here, you could pretty easily on these flat spots to speed up. I've done a little bit of that today, but after about 10 or 11 miles, I'm all done with running, I think. Something I didn't mention in the other video was I haven't taken many pictures first after this day because it's been raining all morning long. So I didn't want to get the phone out and get it soaking wet. But this is one of the more less traveled parts of the park. It's kind of nice. I've only seen 2 people today that were camping down by Enloe Creek, I believe is what I saw. Yeah, a lot of fogginess still. No sunshine yet, really. Okay, made it to the junction of the Gunter Fork Trail. It's been about 5 miles. Sign says 4.9, so let's round up. We got 2.9 miles to go to get to Beech Gap Trail, and then I believe it's about another 2.9 from there back to my car. Pretty obvious trail junction, as most of the ones in the park are. And that's the direction we came from. If you want to go on a less traveled trail, yeah, highly recommend Balsam Mountain Trail. There's several down trees. You gotta do a little gymnastics to get around those. A lot of mud. But I haven't seen anybody since I left the shelter this morning at 7:45. It's now afternoon, almost 1 o'clock, I think. Been about 10 miles. I haven't seen a soul. And I'd be surprised if I see anybody until I get much closer to some of them trailheads down here. So like I mentioned, been hiking the Balsam Mountain Trail. And one thing you should know, there's not a lot of good water sources up here in between like the shelters and campsites. Most of those have some sort of spring or creek close to them. But in between, it can be kind of sparse, even though we got a ton of rain yesterday. You know, you just up here on the tops of these ridges, once it drains off, it's gone. There's nowhere else for it to come from if it hadn't rained. So, you know, just be aware of that and make sure you know where your next water source is while you're out here. For a rainforest, it seems silly to be struggling to find water, but it can happen. So, thinking about calling this video Fast Packing in the Smokies Volume 1 or something cheesy like that. But it should be noted that I'm probably the world's slowest fast packer. It's more like how to carry a 20-pound pack over long distances. But this loop I did, or am doing still got about another 6 miles to go, I think, 5 miles, something like that. Is in total right at 30 miles, maybe a little less. And you could turn it into a multi-day backpacking trip if you wanted to. I just wanted to see if I could do it with a lightweight pack, stay in one of the shelters so I didn't bring a tent, which some people may say is not smart, but I do have my emergency bivvy and stuff like that, so I'm trying to be safe. Yeah, we only had 4 other people in the shelter last night. 2 couples, if you will, father, son, and a husband-wife couple. And so we all felt like we were socially distanced enough in the shelter that's designed to hold 12 comfortably. But right now the park is allowing people to tent just outside the shelters, which I don't know that they've ever done before, or at least not in recent history. Maybe earlier on in my life that was allowed, I don't know, but I think it was too damaging to the more pristine areas of the park, so they stopped it at one point in time or another. And due to good old coronavirus, we're starting to allow it again, and we'll see how long that lasts. All right, this is the intersection of Balsam Mountain and the Beech Gap Trail, which little green arrow there tells you I'm Benton McKay. Let's see. So there's Balsam Mountain. That's the Beech Gap Trail right there. It is a little hard to see, but once you get up to it, it's not as bad. That's the direction we came from. Through all these wildflowers and undergrowth and everything. It's kind of cool down here.